Hello, Mr. Entrepreneurs. Welcome to day 12 of the Wisdom series. We're going to hop right in. Proverbs 12, we're going to start with verse 1. So to learn, you must love discipline. It is stupid to hate correction. Yeah, I don't love discipline. I'm just going to start right there. Even though it's necessary, I find it interesting that Solomon a reference you must love discipline, and then he's in the same breath in verse B of that scripture he says it is stupid to hate correction. And I think it's really hard to hear that because correction never feels great, and it never feels like it's um, uh, never a feel-good story. It's always something to bring alignment and to bring us focus and bring us back to where we're supposed to be. In verse 2 it says, the Lord approves of those who are good, but he condemns those who plan wickedness. Yeah, doing good, always the best answer. Verse 3, wickedness never brings stability, but the godly have deep roots. So when I think of wickedness never brings stability, I think of the man that built his house on sand and how there was no stability, and it, like sand, it withered away, it blew away, and the foundation came down. But the man that built his foundation on the rock, it was stable because of how grounded the rock is and how deep the rocks went. There was no way you could blow or move those rocks.
And that's good. I love, I think with that, verse 12, it says, thieves are jealous of each other's loot, but the godly are well-rooted and bear their own fruit. And I know personally how easy it is to get caught up in comparison and looking over, like when we're supposed to, when I look over, it's more like a camaraderie thing, like we're moving in the same direction, acknowledging that we're going in the same direction. But when we're looking over at someone to compare, or we're jealous of, and I'm looking and I'm jealous of what you have, it loses the camaraderie and it becomes the competition. So if we're ever looking over, it should be because we're in the race with someone and it's more of a like, let's go, let's keep going. Not like a, looking over and like, what am I missing? Like a trying to be better than type of thing. So I think that's super important, that part about how the godly are well-rooted and bear their own fruit. So there's no need for competition. There's no need for looking over and trying to gauge how we're doing based on how someone else is doing. It's like we are producing and bearing our own fruit.
I like verse 16, a fool is quick-tempered, but a wise person stays calm when insulted. I think everybody, no matter your temperament, when you're insulted, it's easy to get upset, but it's the ones that stay calm, the ones that are meek. It's not weakness, but you're understanding that response rather than reaction will bring the best result. 17 says an honest witness tells the truth, a false witness tells lies. At 18, some people make cutting remarks, but the words of the wise brings healing. It's easier to cut people down and cut things down, but sometimes the hard part is bringing healing to the situation. And I think if we were more quick to bring restoration than cutting down, that's wisdom in itself, because too many people will respond in the cutting down, but not many will focus on how do we get the individual back to where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
I think it's really powerful in itself.
Yeah, that is good. Another aspect is verse 25. Worry weighs a person down. An encouraging word cheers a person up. And it's important. We can always look at that as how it applies to ourselves and how we felt worry. And when someone has encouraged us, it's been like a lifting. But instead of looking at when that's going to happen for us, if we're feeling that worry or that anxiety aspect, like taking on the principle to be what you need, or be what you wish you had, or be what you're looking for. So, and we don't. It's another Proverbs, and I don't remember which chapter, but it says, "No one knows the grief in a person's heart, and no one can fully experience its joy." And so we don't really know what's happening on the inside of another person. We can try to gauge based on what we see, but with so many presentations, especially in the arenas that we're in with ministry and with business, presentations are important, or they've been elevated. So we can't always say that we're gonna see when someone is having a hard time on the inside. We can only see what they show us, and we can see what God will show us concerning them. But so because we don't know, should make it a standard or a principle to just always be one that encourages. And again, not to your detriment. I remember feeling like God told me, like a long time ago when I was in high school, that I don't live my life for me. Someone else does. So while I'm living my life in pursuit of someone to help and serve someone else is on an assignment to do that for me. Or, and not just one person, but however, God has ordained paths to cross and things like that. So a lot of times we can look trying to self-preserve and try to make sure that we're okay before we help someone else, which is, the principle of the airplane, and, putting our mask on before. And I'm not saying don't take care of yourself. Not at all. I am a huge advocate for that. I am saying also to not be in the presence of people expecting them to take care of you, or expecting them to take care of you. Always go into the room wanting to bless, wanting to give, wanting to encourage, and then whatever you get back in response that's great, But even if you don't, make that your mission when you go into a room, is how can I serve this place? How can I serve the people here? And again, we never know what's going on the inside. And it goes the same for you. No one knows what's going on the inside. But God is also sending people around to make sure that the end that you're on, if you're on the end of worrying, that someone will come and bring an encouraging word that will cheer you up.
So good.
Oh, amen.
Go ahead.
Ooh.
So verse 26, the godly give good advice to their friends, the wicked lead them astray. Be careful who your friends are. Be careful who's giving you advice, and who you're surrounding yourself with, because the scripture is very important when it says the wicked lead them astray.
Yeah.
And so who you're surrounding yourself with, how are they leading you? How are they giving you good advice? If they're gobbling, they're giving you good advice. But if they're not, and you can see, if you're very watchful and very intentful,
Oh, come on. Full of intent.
Full of intent, you will see what their intentions are.
Yeah.
We love you guys. That's it for this one. We want to hear from your comments. We actually want to hear from you. And we just tell us what you got from the scripture, and we'll see you in the next one.